Traditionally, men are the breadwinners. But what happens when a woman is a breadwinner and she is extremely toxic? Courtney Clenney, the OnlyFans murderer. Hi everybody, welcome back to the AB to the 7th Power channel, where we talk about all things law, true crime, and debauchery. Today I wanted to give you guys an update on a case that is one to watch in 2024, and that is the case of Courtney Clenney. If you've been living under a rock, then you don't know about the case of Courtney Clenney. This is an OnlyFans model who was an all-American girl from Texas, had her rise to fame as a fitness model, and eventually became super successful on OnlyFans, making something along the lines of, I think, $2 million. With this rise to success also comes the tragic tale of what happened to her boyfriend, Christian Obenselli, who also grew up with her in the Texas area. Christian was a bright kid who was into crypto, was into money, and doing his thing as a 20-year-old growing up in Texas, and eventually fell in love with Courtney and followed her on her career path as he became her assistant. The two ended up in Miami, and tragically, this is where Christian met his end. Traditionally, men are the breadwinners. But what happens when a woman is a breadwinner and she is extremely toxic? This event took place in April of 2022 in a high-rise in Miami. A tragic 911 call was made where Courtney took many minutes, a significant time, to call 911 after she flung a knife at Christian and he met his demise. The couple had been fighting for months. There are countless pieces of surveillance footage around the apartment complex showing the couple's tumultuous relationship. They have fought on the deck, in the lobby. They have fought in Vegas. They have fought in so many places where Courtney was apprehended and arrested for these particular occurrences. Police were responding to fights that they had at the apartment so many times. However, the issue with this particular case, and one that baffles so many true crime enthusiasts, is understanding if Courtney's contention that throwing the knife at Christian, which ultimately killed him, was a self-defense act. Courtney Clenney has an infamous video of her in an elevator with Christian Obenselli, where she repeatedly struck Christian on his head. She repeatedly kicked Christian. She repeatedly became violent as he was trying to push her away. And granted, I will be fair, there are some instances where he is trying to hold her or restrain her from the hittings in that particular video. But weeks later, Christian met his demise. There are text messages in this saga where Christian still takes her back after he is stabbed in the leg, after he admits that she abused him, after he admits that they have done drugs together. Christian takes Courtney back in all of these occasions. Courtney has a history of being a dominant personality. After her OnlyFans career took off, she has made multiple appearances on podcasts where she talks about how she has a domineering personality. But the most damning and alarming thing about this particular case, and one that I found interesting, is the Obenselli family is trying to get justice for what happened to Christian. They are even suing Courtney Clenney herself civilly, in addition to the criminal charges that are impeding against her. Her trial is set to take place in 2024, and this is one of the trials that we are watching very closely because we want to see how it shakes out. This trial is taking place in Miami, and we want to know, what is the judge going to rule? What is a jury of her peers going to rule? Is this second-degree murder and self-defense, or is it indeed something that she can go down for first degree? Here's why it might go down for first degree. Courtney Clenney was this OnlyFans model and also has an Instagram account. When I did a little bit of digging on this particular case, I was very shocked to see that one of Courtney Clenney's very last live posts on Instagram happened minutes before she threw the knife at Christian. Minutes as he went to go walk the dog or went outside to go for a bike ride and came back, and Courtney was upset because he was speaking to another woman, and that is what rose to the altercation where she ultimately grabs a knife and threw it from across the room, which medical professionals will tell you it was not physically possible for her to fling it in the way that she said it. Interviews with her have also come out, and it is shown that Courtney's recountment of the statements of that night versus what actually happened does not make sense. The biggest question is why she took so long to call for help if he was actually injured. If you look at the crime scene and you see the photos from that day, it is one of the most gruesome crime scenes that I've ever seen. The most interesting thing about this entire case is that Courtney was not apprehended for months. She was seen at a bar with her father days after this crime was committed, after Christian passed away. She was allowed to go to Hawaii for rehab. This $2 million was left entrusted to her father, who has a history with money. Coming from the financial industry. I don't believe he's a stockbroker, but he has a history of money management. Courtney Clenney, the OnlyFans murderer, will be on trial this year, and we will be watching it very closely. People that are in social media have large presences, and sometimes they can get lost in that fame. They can get lost in that persona, and that is a classic case of what happened to Courtney here. If you look at her very last Instagram post, you can see that she showed up missing nails and felt larger than life. And minutes later, life changed for her in the biggest way. Think critically about this case, guys. Analyze the evidence that I've showed you so far, and as we go to trial, really think about what is happening here. Really think about what is being suppressed. Really think about if it is physically possible to fling a knife across a room and have that knife hit a man in his chest, strike a artery, and kill him. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Was this physically possible? Is it questionable that she took so long to call 911? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I can't wait to read them. You guys be safe out there. See you in the next one. Bye.